At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV! Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free.
The truth is ours.
It's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And good evening, everyone. I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Always remember, folks, freedom is not free. I'll have more on that throughout the hour. A number of headlines I'm following, a number of issues we have to get to, a number of issues that are on my mind. 800-848-9222. What's going on with Iran? I don't know. Maybe you folks have a better idea than I do. The Trump administration declares, quote, no dust, no dollars for Iran, that the Islamic Republic must give up nuclear material before sanctions relief. Of course, we're going to deal with what happened at the White House. I don't know what's going on, folks, in the world. I don't know why in the greatest country on earth, we simply can't, you can use any term you want to, hospitalize, institutionalize, lock them up, the mentally ill. Look at what happened. You have an innocent person shot. You have the alleged shooter dead. You have all of these upset agents. You have all these upset reporters. Yet another firing near the White House. We'll deal with that. I don't know if you paid much attention on Friday, but guess who was in our neck of the woods? President Trump. And boy, was he on fire, giving it to Governor Hochul, telling her, Kathy, quote from the president, be careful. But I want to know what is wrong in the world. The Giants quarterback, Jason Dart, spoke for all of 1 minute introducing the president of the United States. And he's under fire online for doing exactly that. When does this nonsense stop? All the man did was introduce the president of the United States of America. But because of Trump derangement syndrome, everything is supposed to be okay. 800-848-9222. What's not okay, and I get it, First Amendment right, I get it, but it's time to put these anti-Israel protesters in their place. And a programming note, by the way, I'm with you now until 1 a.m. Coming up at 6 a.m. this morning, I'll be joining a panel including our owner-operator that's here locally in New York on 77 WABC. Our station owner, John Katsimatidis, on the holiday, coming in as he often does, and we'll be doing the show from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. I'll be back at 3 p.m. and then back again 24 hours from now at midnight. But JFK Airport, they just don't want peace. But why are you doing this here? Why don't you go over to Palestine and fight the battle from there, phonies? JFK Airport, chanting vile things. People arriving, right, at the airport, inside the airport. Listen to what happened. Why is it tolerated? You tell me. I get it with the First Amendment. Why is that tolerated at an airport? Why? We'll zero in on many topics over the course of the next 2 hours this Memorial Day weekend. But oh, Chicago. Hey, Mr. Mayor in Chicago, how about doing a good job in protecting the people? Brandon Johnson, how about that? Well, over the weekend in Chicago, 21 people shot, including children. A mass shooting, 5 police officers injured, another day in Chicago. You cannot make this up. Take a listen.
Officers say around 3 a.m, that's when they were in the area near 25th and Washington, and that's when they did hear gunshots. Officers say they did find those 4 victims. Among those who were shot include an 18-year-old, 2 16-year-old girls, and a 14-year-old boy. They were all taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where they are currently being treated. It's still unclear what exactly led up to the shooting, and at the scene there was lots of debris and also trash scattered on the ground. Officers could also be seen escorting 2 people in handcuffs. It's unclear if they are facing any charges. Now, investigators say the shooter ran away from the scene. Police are asking the public to come forward with any information.
So, Mayor Brandon Johnson, no justice, no peace, right? That's what counts to you, right? Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter how many black people are killed in Chicago. The only thing that counts for Brandon Johnson is injustice. No justice, no peace, right? Right, Brandon Johnson, you are the absolute worst. You know, I thought after the last mayor in Chicago, the woman mayor, I said it can't get any worse. And then they went and found this guy from under some rock, the absolute worst. Over the weekend, here we are, Memorial Day weekend. We're about to start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Shots fired at the White House, a man who happened to be mentally ill.
That President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No. It's almost become like an active shooter drill for the school system, but for reporters. So you heard the journalist there. She's doing her stand-up, what we call stand-ups. That's when you see them on camera talking to you, reciting the story. And she hears in the background, pop, 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 down. This is what's happening in America. I don't understand. I really want somebody to explain to me. You know, you have these pandering politicians that close these hospitals for the mentally ill. I don't understand how it can be responsible leadership for this to be tolerated. Lock them up. Why are you leaving these people on the street? It's inhumane. Why are you doing this? So this man, 21 years old, from Maryland, killed by federal agents as he opened fire at a White House checkpoint. He had said in the past he wanted to get arrested there, trying to approach the White House before. He was a former high school athlete, Amazon driver, and he believed he was God. He thought he was God. Nasir Best, his name, was on a track team in high school, where he graduated from in 2023. There were troubling signs. He was evicted from his apartment for failing to pay rent, didn't even bother to show up for court proceedings. This guy was just an absolute mess. We're about to start with your calls, but first, Fox News on this alleged shooter.
At least twice last year and had a history of mental health issues. Court record State Best was charged in July with trying to enter a restricted area near the White House. Authorities say Best told them he was Jesus Christ and that he wanted to get arrested. Best was also reportedly detained by Secret Service the previous month for flagging down agents and making threats. The president saying in part on Truth Social, thank you to our great Secret Service and law enforcement for the swift and professional action taken this evening against a gunman near the White House who had a violent history and possible obsession with our country's most cherished structure. The president was at the White House when the shooting happened, but he was not affected and the suspect never got into the perimeter. In fact, the president stayed at the White House throughout the evening as he tries to secure a deal with Iran. The incident happened around 6 p.m. local time. Many Avenue. And per their preliminary investigation, they say as the man walked up, he took a gun from his bag and began firing at officers. Agents shot back and hit the gunman, who later died at a local hospital. The Secret Service said a bystander was shot during the incident as well, but it's unclear whether they were initially hit by the suspect or during the crossfire.
What does it take to open up these beds for the mentally ill again? Why are we tolerating this? People that are paranoid schizophrenic. I still recall a few years ago when the Secret Service had to kill a woman suffering from from paranoid schizophrenic. She tried to drive her car past the White House gate. You do something like that with the Secret Service, you have a suicide wish. You're not going to make it. It's as simple as that. 800-848-9222. We're about to get to President Trump in our area Friday. He was up in my area in Rockland at Rockland Community College in Suffering, and the president was on fire. We'll get to that in just a minute, but I want to start with some of your calls on this busy news weekend. Dominic Carter here with you. Let's see here. Let's start with Mike in New Jersey, line 4. Mike, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, do you know what true Trump derangement system is?
I'm listening. You're about to say something stupid. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Excuse me. True Trump derangement syndrome is when man can say what he wants.
Oh, you don't think I figured it out? This is Walter in Baltimore. You don't think I recognize your voice in 2 seconds?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You don't think I recognize your voice in 2 seconds? You don't think I can pick up your mannerisms and how you pace your stupid voice? You don't think I can pick that up?
Excuse me.
You know what I think is stupid? I think your point in your call is stupid. But I'll play this game with you for another few seconds until I get bored. Go ahead.
Excuse me. I am not Walter, first of all. Please don't call me Walter. Walter, I respect Walter, but I am not Walter.
Ah, you respect Walter because you're Walter. Go ahead with your point.
My Trump derangement syndrome is when Trump...
Or is that Walter in the background coaching you?
I don't...
Now, you don't think I can hear the person in the background? Are you stuck on stupid? You don't think I can hear the person in the background? You don't think I'm trained to pay attention to the sound?
Dominic, what is this?
Okay, what is the point you're trying to make? I'm getting increasingly bored with your call because I don't like the whole premise of it.
This man is full of hot air, and he can
right. He's full of hot air, and not you, right? And not you, right? So Trump is full of hot air, and not you, correct?
Excuse me, am I talking to John Katzenmatidi? What are you saying, Dominic? You can't just call me another man and just push it on me.
Okay, what is the point you're trying to make? For the last time, I'm getting increasingly bored.
The man who makes promises and he doesn't keep them.
Wait, the man. Who are you referring to? Who are you referring to?
President Donald John Trump.
Right. Okay, so is it fair to say you're a Trump skeptic, hater? Is that fair to say?
Answer my point, Dominic. Don't call me.
Is that I know. Listen, I'm going to ask this one more time, and then you're going to meet Mr. Click if you don't answer the question. Is it fair to say that you're a Trump hater?
Dominic, you're not answering my question. Meet
Mr. Click. Thank you for the call. Let's go for Joe. Go to Joe in New Jersey, line 5. Good evening, Joe. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Good evening, Dominic. You know what's wrong in this country? People are voting, like if you're a Democrat, you're groomed to vote for that party. You don't realize you could have a better person. And you could, I'm a Democrat, but I vote Republican because I vote for the better person. If I think a Democrat is better, I'll vote for him. So, but I noticed that in the Democratic Party, people, they're Democrats and they swing with the party regardless if the guys are stiff or not. I don't do that.
Well, you are correct. You are correct, Joe. You know, I got to be straight with you, man. I've spent a lot of time dissecting, analyzing my upbringing, right? And how all the boys in my neighborhood, all the girls, we were all taught to believe that Republicans are the boogeyman and the Democrat is our savior, right? And what I'm starting to realize, Joe, when you think about this, is that especially in communities of color, what's the best way to say this? You're taught instinctively to look for free. And you don't even realize it. You go based on the candidate that's promising you free things. And you don't even, so this goes back historically, many years, and you don't even realize it. Instinctively, in communities from which I come, how are you taught to automatically hate the police? Automatically. And automatically vote Democratic. But I am here to tell people, Joe, and I'm going to give you the final say in a second, if you don't change that way of thinking, you will be stuck on stupid for the rest of your life and never get anywhere. And at the end of the day, if you don't make your own independent decision, that doesn't mean you vote Republican. It doesn't mean you vote Democrat. What it means is you should honestly sit down and vote for what's in your best interest. You don't vote for someone because they're a failed rapper and because they show up at the nightclub and they say they're down with you. You've got to vote your interests. You've got to figure out what your interests are. Go ahead, Joe.
Exactly right, Dominic. That's what I do. I look at the candidates and I know who's the better man. That's who I'll vote for. But people aren't doing that, though. They're going with their party. They're groomed to go with the party, and they don't care if the other guy is better.
Correct. Joe, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Sergio, staying in New Jersey, line 4. Sergio, good evening. What's on your mind?
Dominic, love the show, man. How you doing? First time caller, man.
Wonderful.
The TDS syndrome, it's all fake. It's all brainwashing. You know, everybody at one point in time loved Trump. Everybody called him. Everybody wanted him at their parties. They all wanted to go to his parties.
Absolutely.
And all the racist cards and all the pedophile crap. It's all lies, and these weak-minded, brainwashed people really pick up on. You know, the Democrats are the enemy of the people, and I hate to say that because I want to sound. It's true. It's 100%. It's 100% true. When all they do is want to cater, they want to cater to illegal aliens, and illegal aliens is not a race. So can't be racist because you don't want illegal aliens in our home and funding everything that they do. They get everything when they come across the border. They get everything. They got everything, and people forgot that Biden and the Democrats ran on open borders. So when people are questioning what happened at the border, exactly what they said they wanted to happen, they wanted it to happen.
You're correct.
And then with the other thing with the no kings and fascists and all this other crap they call my president. They call him that, and they attempted 4 times on his life, and they just had another attempt over the weekend at the White House. Now, if he was the tyrant and he was the dictator, none of this would be happening. People would be killed. People would be hung. People would be shot. People would be killed on sight. That's correct. And then in closing, my final point is Kamala Harris. We would not know her name if it wasn't for DEI, and if it wasn't for Joe Biden saying we had to have a woman vice president. She had to be black. She wasn't even at 1%. Over at the caucus, before the caucuses in Iowa, she was nobody, and she still is nobody, but she was front and center because she got wheeled in front of us. Now, the Democrats, the Democrat Party, all the people that are on the Democrats should be mad because they couldn't pick their soldier to go against Trump. Because here we go, you couldn't pick somebody because she was forced down your throat, just like the LGBTQ and all the trans and all this other crap going on. Everything is being shoved down our throats left and right.
Sergio, please don't get me started on the transgender stuff. I'm going to deal with it later on. This A.B. Hernandez in high school out in California, I'm trying to find the correct word to describe this situation. I don't know whether to call her Miss Hernandez. I don't know whether to call her Mr. Hernandez. But she has the physique. She has the physique. Let me just finish this, Sergio. She has the physique of a straight-up male athlete. She looks like a man, a well-groomed, body-wise, athletic man. And because she wants to identify as a woman, she's out there competing with girls in high school sports. And now all these girls, and this has to be absolutely demoralizing, they've got to share first place with this transgender student. And the transgender student's mother reportedly told her daughter, his son, whatever, that, it's going to be hard for us because it's an election year. Hey, Sergio, you just alluded to this. I want you to help me out here. When did we get to the point where the rights of one transgender athlete is more important than hundreds of female athletes? And this happens over and over all across the country. How did the rights of one transgender male become more important than all these female athletes when we have Title IX that's supposed to protect these young ladies?
And that's what Democrats cry about, Title IX, because that was exactly what it was for. It's for women's sports and for individuality and to be able to compete on the same level, but with women. Now, where we lost that was mental illness. We lost that a long time ago, where it was looked upon as being heroic. It's not heroic. There's something wrong with you. You're absolutely mentally, you're missing something. There's something wrong. And instead of the Democrats and political parties, instead of addressing the mental illness, and you know what I say it is? I think it's the pills and the antidepressants and all the pills that were given to the kids in school when they were too hyper. I think that those people, for the years of taking that medication, it seeped into their bloodline. It just was passed down to this generation where all the mental illness is really at now. That's my opinion.
I hear you, Sergio. I've been thinking about this because this weekend I said to myself, now, how are you going to describe this A.B. Hernandez? She looks like a safety on the football team. That's how athletic she or he is. How do we just let her say, oh, I'm a girl, and let her compete? There's a reason why we have women's sports. It's for their self-esteem. They have the same rights that males have to engage in sports. And you're going to let an athlete decide, oh, I'm not a dude anymore, I'm a girl, and compete against females? It's not. This A.B. Hernandez in California, we're permitting this pretty boy Gavin Newsom so you can run for president? And are you delusional? Folks, whatever you do, and I've interviewed the pretty boy many times, whatever you do, don't let your wife go near Gavin Newsom. That's all I'm saying. Don't let it happen, right? I don't know how he survived the scandal of sleeping with his chief of staff's wife. But in California, he's untouchable. And Kamala Harris and all of that nonsense that goes on. I mean, I just don't understand how America wins by letting an athlete say, I'm not a male anymore, I'm a girl. And because I want to win trophies. I want to be number one. I don't want to compete against men where it's fair. I want to compete where I have an edge where they can't compete with me. And we accept that. How did we get to this point? Oh, I'm a girl, but you don't look like a girl. There's nothing about you that looks like because you say you're a girl, you should be able to compete with girls? I don't think so. Time for a break. We are coming right back.